Cancel.
Schweezy.
Do atheists celebrate Christmas? If so, why? I guess generally Christmas is the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. And you talk about how, and you talk about that Christmas story if you want to look. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I think Matthew and Luke. I think Mark may have the story of Jesus' birth. I can't remember. I think Mark may have it, but John was the wild card in that story. He told the stories that they didn't tell. So you talk about that, and I'll tell you about the story about how they went to Bethlehem for census, and they ended up staying in like a barn, and Jesus was born in a barn, and the manger is not an actual manger. It's like what farm animals eat out of and shit like that. Basically, that's the story. And then, you have the idea that Christmas is about like the birth of Jesus and stuff like that. But then you're like, oh, but like other religions and stuff celebrate Christmas too. That's kind of weird. What's the story behind that? I think Christmas has become, obviously Christmas has become very commercialized. So obviously it's about buying gifts. You have Black Friday. The idea of Black Friday was that like, basically how the stock market it turns black or whatever, and you're able to buy gifts at a cheap price, and that's what people buy gifts on that time to do that and stuff like that. So it's come commercialized about buying gifts and stuff like that. And, we have Christmas movies, and we have the idea of Santa Claus, like Santa Claus brings gifts at Christmas. So Christmas becomes just more of it's not really become so much of a religious holiday. It's become more of a just normal holiday, which when something I've learned that like Christmas Eve is a religious holiday. So you can't get off work on Christmas Eve, but you can get off work on Christmas Day because that's like a government holiday? Stuff like that. So, and you hear about like people from India. I've just heard this. I'm not like some people from India were like, that's not how it works. I don't know how they talk. That's not how it works, but they're like, well, we like the Christmas tree. We like giving presents. We like the idea that everyone's going to be good around the holidays, and stuff like that. And I generally think, and as someone who is big Christian and probably just trying to stay away from that and just figuring out their own shit.
What?
That I feel like, Christmas is more about like, hey, it's this time of year where we should all be giving and loving and try to love one another and help each other out and be good people. And I think that's the real meaning of Christmas. And, should atheists celebrate Christmas? I mean, like, you shouldn't be celebrating the birth of Jesus. You're probably not celebrating that. But celebrating Christmas, I always feel like, is being a good person, helping other people, being good, spreading cheer, and just being a good person. That's why I love Christmas. That's why Christmas is my favorite holiday. That's why we do Christmas Schweezy, because it's one time a year we all decide that we're going to be good people and we're going to help each other out and celebrate humanity and how good we actually could be if we wanted to do this all year. Hey there, you just checked out a highlight from Cancel Schweezy. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you learned something and that you are now a smarter individual. Just so you know, we have full episodes and other many, many highlights available now. Click here for the next best thing that you can go check out as well. And make sure you press that subscribe button and press that notification bell. That way you get updated anytime we make a new post or anytime that we make a new highlight or full episode. So thank you, honk if you love butt drugs, and stay awesome.